Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Gananaham Tva Ganapatigum Havamahe Kavim Kavinamupamassravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anastrinvan Utibhitsi Dasadanam Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhir Nivati Dhinama Vitrayavatu Ganesaya Namaha Saraswatyai Namaha Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sumukascha Ekadantascha Kapilo Gajakarnakaha Lambodharascha Vikato Vignarajo Vinayakaha Tumaketurganadhyakshaha Phalachandro Gajananaha Vakratundaha Surpakarno Herambaha Skandapurvajaha Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Yasyadvirada Vaktradhyaha Parishadhyaha Parasatam Vignam Nignanti Satatam Vishvaksenam Tamasraye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheswaraha Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Ullangasundoho Salilam Salilam Yasoka Vagnim Janakatmajayaha Adayate Naiva Dadahalankam Namamitam Pranjalir Anjaneyam Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Ramanama Varanane Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Ramanama Varanane Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Ramanama Varanane Shri Ramanama Varanana Om Namayiti Yatra Yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam Tatra Tatra Kruta Mastakanjalim Bashpavari Paripurna Lochanam Marutim Namata Rakshasantakam. So with Swami's grace, let us continue. The Dasaratha is pleading, confused, confabulated, so to speak, absolutely flabbergasted, and so he is now trying to reason out with Kaikeyi. He is asking, where has all your devotion to Bhagavan, where is it gone? And all these days it has kept you on the dharmic path. What has happened to it? Then he continues. He says, what is the benefit you're going to gain by sending Rama to the forest for 14 years? Then he says his body is so soft and he's loved by everybody. There's not a single person, show one person in the whole kingdom who will have any complaint against Rama. No, he has taken care of everybody, so affectionate and loving and fulfilling the needs of every single one. And so he says, Kaikeyi, I cannot even say how cruel you are. I'm not able to find any words even to describe the extent and the level of your cruelty. Then he was continuing. He says there are many people, who exploit, who take use and abuse the subjects, and they promote only their selfish interests. And such demons, Rakshasas, are increasing in numbers. Even it happened even in Treta Yuga, as you can imagine. So these demons are appearing, they're increasing every day. But, Kaikeyi, the way that you are looking at things, even though you are, maybe because of the Yugam that we are living in, now he was complaining about Treta Yugam now, imagine what's the situation in Kali Yugam. And he says, because of your past sins and whatever the karma that you've done in the past, Kaikeyi, and people who remove the miseries of the poor and the downtrodden and the underserved in the society, and people who are distressed, and people who take care of the distressed people and promote their advancement and remove all their miseries, and people who directly inquire into what the difficulties that other peoples are facing and experiencing, especially the underserved sections of society and the poor and the forgotten, and the problem that they face, and people who inquire into it and provide relief to them. Remove the problem that they are facing. Such good people, Kaikeyi, maybe because of all the past karmas that you have done, these people appear as evil to you, as bad to you, that they should be punished with exiling into the forest. This is how you look at things? Then he kept on. Because everyone in the kingdom praises, sings the glory and the values and the virtues of Rama. And not only do they praise and take delight, they actually derive happiness in recounting and in describing the virtues and the values and the gunas of Rama. That is how he is. And when farmers are working in the fields in and around Ayodhya, they feel exhausted, physically tired with their work. What do? They sing songs in praise of Rama and his various gunas, its charms, its love and his attractiveness and his saulabhyam. And when they sing songs like that, their work, their tasks actually become lighter. When I learned of this, when I came to know that this is what the farmers were doing, I was filled with tremendous joy, Kaikeyi. How can you agree or even want to inflict such pain on such a compassionate and loving soul as Rama is, and with this excruciating sentence that you are pronouncing, that he should be banished? And even this evening, when I placed this proposal in front of the assembly of sages, of pundits, of scholars, and many experts in various administration matters and in various statesmanship and all that, and when I proposed to them about the coronation of Rama, not a single one raised even the slightest dissatisfaction or dissent with that proposal. On the other hand, they all in unison, together, they all praised Rama in so many ways, in countless ways they praised him and declared that it was the greatest blessing that can happen to the country that we could have a Yuvaraja like Rama, and who was not only a lord but also a spiritual hero who had mastered his senses. Rama had full control over his senses. And not only that, because of that, he was fully selfless. Every minute that he lived, every breath that he took, every word that he spoke, every thought that he thought was for the welfare and well-being for the society, for others. And his unflinching, determined holding on, loyalty to Satyam. And they were praising him like every aspect of it, that they all continuously were shouting, Jai, 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 Subham, Subham, Subham. This treasure of my love, this favorite of my people, is the one that you want to send to the forest? Whatever you may say, Kaikeyi, this one is certain. I will tell you right now, 100% sure. I will not send my Rama into the forest. And now listen to this also. The coronation of Rama shall take place tomorrow as it is been planned, and it cannot be cancelled. This is how Dasaratha spoke in an outburst of pride and courage and rage and anger at what he had just heard, the injustice. We talk of injustice in the world, right? When something doesn't go our way, we think life is unfair. Imagine what is happening here. Then, the moment Dasaratha retorted like that, Kaikeyi now put on a show. She assumed a terrific posture that was frightening. And she shouted back, Maharaja, remember, just a few moments ago, you took a vow under many oaths. The oath that you took was what? That you will grant the boons that I ask. The boons that belong to me, not to you. They are mine. and you are not giving it in charity. They are my property, and all you are doing is you agreed that you will grant my boons, whatever they may be. This is the promise you just took just a few moments ago again. Now you want to go back on your word? Now tell me, who is dragging the glory of the Ikshvaku dynasty into the gutter, into the dust? You or me? Remember, think about this. It is the pride of Ikshvaku dynasty, the clan of Ikshvaku dynasty, that no one will go back on the word that he has. Once he has given a word, they will never go back on it. That's the dharma that has been sustaining this Ikshvaku clan. Now you want to go back on that? You want to spoil that fame? You have not weighed the pros and cons, Maharaja. You promised to grant me the boons I wanted. The mistake, if there is any mistake at all, is yours, not mine. You gave me the boons. I didn't ask for them. Then you promised to grant them today again. So you are the very person who gave your word not once but twice. Now consider your honor, your status, and your dignity, and then the dignity and the fame and the reputation of the Ikshvaku dynasty. All the forefathers that came before you, all the people who are going to come after you. Consider all that. When you deny the very words you spoke to me, then and now you're denying it. Now, yes, it may be very common for rulers who are very powerful to abuse their powers, to injure and hurt the weak people who are helpless, and then the kings can go against their own words, because what can the weak and the downtrodden can do, right? But when they do like that, it cannot promote self-respect. Those who break their promises and cheat women are nothing but savages, barbaric animals, she said. They are not kings. Now, when the rulers of kingdom, they slide into savagery, into barbarism, into uncivilized behavior, adharmic behavior, what do you think is going to happen to the subjects and the citizens? Yatha Raja, Tatha Praja. What is going to happen to them? They all will naturally resent, they will revolt, and then the kingdom will very soon be Rakshasic in character. All the years, Maharaja, you have been struggling and striving and protecting and nourishing the honor and the dignity of the line of Ikshvaku. Now, to a large extent, yes, you have won because people respect you. For you're dignified, your dignity and honor are in good stead. But now, the infamy of breaking your word is now hanging on your head, not on mine, she said. Recall all your forefathers, the kings of greatest fame. Take good care, Maharaja, that you do not act contrary to the words that you have spoken. Think well, think deeply, because you are now proceeding along a path that is atrociously bad, she said. Now Kaikeyi is threatening him. Beware, she is threatening him. You are acting against the dictates of dharma. Well, you are intelligent. You claim to be intelligent. If you are as intelligent as everybody says that you are, you should have, before you gave your word, you should have first thought about it. And you should have thought what the nature of the boons that I was going to ask you, right? You never thought about it, did you? And you all, instead, blindly you promised, yes, you'll fulfill it and all that. You didn't look either before or after. It is called Purvatapam, which, digressing for a minute, why when Lord Krishna was asked why he chose Arjuna to teach Bhagavad Gita and not Dharmaputra, Yudhishthira, who was always wanting to follow Dharma, Krishna gave a couple of very good, very interesting and very apt and very correct answers. That's a huge lesson in it for us. One of the things that he said was, yes, Dharmaputra was always wanting to follow Dharma, inquiring what Dharma is, and was very committed to Dharma. But, he had more of what is known as paschatapam. He did not think through the pros and cons of a given situation. He just gets into it, lands into difficulty, and then wails and cries for sympathy and all that. Oh, I wish I had not done that. That's the way he was. Arjuna was not like that. Arjuna had purvatapam. Before entering an action, he always weighed, analyzed the pros and cons. That before he took that action. That's one of the reasons Bhagavan says that he selected Arjuna to teach Bhagavad Gita. Second reason he gives of course, is that Arjuna himself says in the Bhagavad Gita, you are not only my devotee, but you are also my dear friend. He says, so one must be a friend as well as a devotee of Bhagavan in order to get the teaching directly from him. And let's continue. So Kaikeyi is telling him, but you did not think about it, the pros and cons. And before he gave your word, you were mesmerized, you were enchanted by my words and you wanted to please me. And you said, yes, whatever it is that I ask, you'll be granted. And now you blame me when I asked you to fulfill the boons that rightly belong to me. How seriously, how devilishly, how deeply are you mistaken? She is arguing back. How foolish you proclaim that you are, with this very action. You think everybody says you're intelligent. This is foolish, she says. You accuse me of giving up dharma and my bhakti and my devotion to Bhagavan, and then you accuse me of being extremely cruel, for which you cannot even find words to describe. What about you? She says. Everybody says you got a reputation that you are a dharma vrata. That means a person who strictly adheres to dharma. The dharma means, dharmic word, dharmic thought, and dharmic action. And then people say, oh my God, no, Dasaratha, he's Daiva Samana. That means he's equal to God. That's a reputation you have. Now, when you break your word, what name can you claim that really belongs to you? What do you think people are going to call you when you go back on the word that you have given? Now judge yourself, she says. Judge yourself. Pronounce a judgment on yourself, she says. And see, the people are very clever when they dive immediately and promptly and hurriedly and quickly and discover the faults of others before they look at their own faults. And this attitude is not commendable, is not praiseworthy, she says. Now, instead, if one dives into finding one's own faults and deficiencies and takes care and becomes extra vigilant that these faults and deficiencies that within himself that he finds, that they do not take him on an adharmic path and into the wrong path and into sin, that way of using intelligence is really praiseworthy. Now, kings, rulers, they're all supposed to be very intelligent. And they are taken to be, people take them to be all-knowing. But if you do not benefit from such basic self-examination, Maharaja, if you don't benefit yourself, then if you're concerned only about your selfish interest, then what right do you have to blame me as being narrow-minded and cruel and selfish and all that? You granted the boons, not me. You granted it. It's a fact. You cannot deny that. You again took an oath. That's also a fact. You cannot deny that. You broke that oath. You went back on the given word. That's a fact. Now think deeply whether these three things are true or not, she said. Continued in a very powerful manner, in a staccato manner, she is arguing with him. You are deluded, Maharaja, by attachment to your son. Now, you were You fell. Your desires for your wife, which means in this case herself, you became a slave to your own desires towards your wife. And now you are attached to your son. And then you want to blame, assign the blame for your weaknesses on others? No, that's not right. I am not the culprit, she said. I am not the culprit. It is you who have done wrong. Because it is natural for a mother to be attached to her son, she said. Every woman who's a mother naturally wants the best for her son. And they want her son to be in the highest position of authority. That is the way mothers are. It is the prompting of nature is like that. Now, it is also because mothers are propelled by such desires, naturally, they have a duty, they want to see that their sons get the best. What is wrong in that? It's only natural. And so naturally she will take steps to promote and advance her son's careers in all possible ways. I am only carrying out my natural duties and responsibilities as a mother. Remember that. There is nothing unnatural or wrong in what I am saying. Now, when Rama is crowned as Yuvaraja, his mother Kausalya will become the Rajamata, the mother queen. Then, what will happen to my son, Bharata? He will stand in front of them with folded hands, folded arms, in obedient servitude manner, and awaiting what is the command of Rama. So whatever command he gives, he has to carry it out. He has to run errands for him. Then he has to fall at the feet of Rama, and while he comes back and reports on the whatever duty or whatever work that Rama gives him, he has to come back and report that. How will he report? He has to again fall at the feet of Rama with his hands folded. He has to report on all the things that have been done and the results and all that. And maybe Rama will be happy with what he hears, the way he accomplishes the work given to him, or maybe he will not. Maybe he will reprimand him. Maybe he will punish him. Who knows? No. I cannot bear this kind of a scenery. I cannot bear this. I am a mother. So I cannot witness this. No. I will be so humiliated when I see my son becoming a servant like this. I cannot live one more day thinking like this. It is easy for me. It is better for me. It is correct for me to drink poison and now itself and die, rather than face a situation where I have to witness such scenes. I am telling you not to frighten you, Maharaja. I am giving this to you as a solemn promise from me. Now, I have taken this promise in the name of my son Bharata, whom I value him as much I value my breath. On Bharata, I promise you, I will take my life now itself instead of agreeing to Rama's coronation and waiting for a situation where my son Bharata is being treated, mistreated, abused as a servant. I will not stand for it. I promise that to you right now. I will not be satisfied anything less than Rama being banished and sent to the forest. Such harsh words, agonizingly painful, cruel, and atrocious words that Kaikeyi was uttering in a staccato manner, absolutely devoid of any compassion, any love, any sensitivity at all. And that's how, when a demonic tendency takes over, that's exactly how it acts. That's the nature of a demonic tendency. And then after speaking all these harsh words, what did Kaikeyi do? She fell on the floor and started sobbing, and then she was groaning in the amount of sorrow that she was experiencing. What could he do? And some of us have done this in our life. Maybe some of us have done. All he did, he beat his head in despair. What to do? He didn't know. Such a monumental insurmountable challenge and a difficulty has hit him now unexpectedly and the most powerful manner. He, such a exalted and such a powerful, highly accomplished spiritually and the world matters like Dasaratha was astounded, did not know what to do. He beat his head in absolute despair, a situation of despair, hopelessness. He said, Kaikeyi, has anyone advised you on this wrong path? That this kind of a dangerous thing that you are proposing will actually help you, will actually benefit you? Or has some demon taken over you, evil spirit has taken over you and forced you to utter all these nonsenses? This absurd, Kaikeyi, absurd. It's ridiculous, it's mad, it's crazy. Sending Rama to the forest and crowning Bharata? Why don't you wish well for me? I'm your husband. Why don't you wish well for me? Why don't you wish well for Bharata, your son? Why don't you wish well for the kingdom of Ayodhya? Please, Kaikeyi, give up this desire. This is fraught with danger and calamity. Nothing good will come out of this. Please, Kaikeyi, think deeply about the pros and cons, the consequences of this action. You have to think. Or else, if you proceed with this, what's going to happen? You, me, and your son Bharata will become the targets for perpetual and direct infamy, he says. Nobody will respect us. We will get disreputation, the three of us. It will end not only there. The entire kingdom will be ruined. And many more tragedies will take place. You mean, degraded woman. He was scolding her, that's the best he could come up with. Mean, degraded woman is what he called her. Can we ever believe for a second, for a chanam, that Bharata will agree to get himself crowned? Even if I accept your proposal to crown him and promise to do so, you think Bharata will agree to it? Think about it. He is a strict follower of dharma. He's highly intelligent, and his dharmic stature is exemplary. He will not agree to exile Rama to the forest, and he will not agree for himself being crowned as Yuvaraja. Not only he, the ministers, the various attendants, the various sub-rulers, all our friends, the sages, and the common people, and the leaders of common people, the citizens, everyone will oppose your desire. I guarantee that. How can you be happy when so many people are unhappy? Consider, Kaikeyi, the situation that you are now responsible for. The elders and the rishis have endorsed it. They were all of one united mind to crown Rama. This evening, at this grand assembly of the citizens, I announced that I will celebrate the coronation of Rama. If I act contrary to what I announced there, then I will be declared as a coward who runs back from the battlefield, the worst that a Kshatriya can happen. And all arrangements now have been completed for the coronation. Everybody has been informed of this festival. The people have started preparing the city for this celebration tomorrow morning. The streets are already packed with happy groups of people singing songs and dancing in joy. And they're all happy. Look at their face, exulted in joy and happiness. That's how they are. And now, at this moment, if I send Rama into the forest, don't you think the people will laugh at me, saying, what? This man has finished 3 chapters, the coronation and the rulership of the kingdom and the exile all in one single night? In what manner can I explain this to them? After what I have publicly declared, that in the midst of not one or two, but in the assembly, mammoth gathering it was on the Hall of Citizens today, in front of everybody I declared, how can I go back on that? And instantly, how much people will blame me and feeling that their king is such a fool he is, big fool. I've ruled over them for so many years, so many long years. I won their applause and praise on only one count, as a consistent follower of Dharma, as an embodiment of high virtue, and then only as a very strong hero. That's how they consider me. That's how they praise me. That's how they respect me. That's how they keep me in their heart. My heroism, my bravery and courage, they all come after the fact that I am a strict adherent and follower of Dharma. Now, how can I bear this dishonor of being talked as if I am a big fool, and who has now dropped and dived into such a low behavior, low conduct, and with that low conduct bringing down the whole citizenry and the kingdom and the dynasty into such a low, abysmal level. How can I withstand and bear that dishonor that's going to fall on me? And so Dasaratha was continuing to speak along this line of argument, and we will continue with Swami's grace on Monday and pick up where the conversation leads us. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om.